Hello mga kabarangay, hello mga kasangga. Kumusta kayo dyan? Saang sulok man kayo ng mundo, saang sulok man kayo ng bansa. At ngayong umaga, andito ulit tayo sa ating bagong segment, Coffee with News. Kasama nating paboritong kape sa umaga, silipin natin ang ulo ng mga nagbabagang balita na kumakalat sa loob at labas ng bansa. Una nating silipin ng headlines ng Manila Bulletin. Okay? Sa unang headlines, herd immunity in NCR within reach. Ang herd immunity daw ng NCR o Metro Manila ay abot kamay na ayon sa ayon sa DOH. Ano ba tong herd immunity nito? Ito yung kalagayan kung saan ang halos sa lahat ng populasyon ng isang lugar ay immune na sa pandemic, immune na sa virus, immune na sa COVID-19. So, malapit na raw. Malapit na raw kamit. Abot kamay na raw ayon sa Insyara. Tingnan natin. Ayon sa with a very progressive and aggressive vaccination drive in place, the National Capital Region or NCR is set to achieve close to 100% of its target population to be fully vaccinated against the coronavirus disease early next year. So early next year, that is January, first quarter, January, February, March, sayang. Mahit na ang target ng NCR na at halos sa karamihan ng populasyon ng Kamaynilaan ay mabakunahan na. Metropolitan Manila Development Authority, MMDA, Chairman Binhor Abalos said their projections showed 94.62% of the 9.8 million eligible population were due to complete the vaccination series by December 1. So sa December 1, marami nang matatapos na kanilang vaccination program. So that is second dose, kailang mayroon na pipintong tinatawag ng booster, ang pangatlong dose. Kasi after 6 to 8 months ay bumababa ang kakayahan ng bakuna. Kaya kailangan ng booster. Yan ang isa sa ating mga headlines. Isa pang headlines, PH declining COVID-19 cases and not artificial. According sa DOH, ang pagbaba daw ng mga kaso ng COVID-19 ay hindi daw gawa-gawa lang, sabi ng Department Sinsya na, nawala tayo sa ere. Data lang kasi tayo, no? Kaya, wala ang signal pala ng data. Ay, hindi natin maiwasan. Bigla tayong nawawala. Ayun ang headlines natin isa. At patuloy na pagbaba ang kaso ng COVID-19 at ayon sa kanila ay dahil yan sa malawak na programa ng sa pang headlines, more Filipinos are willing to get COVID-19 shots at parami ang mga Pilipino ang papayag na magkaroon ng bakuna. Hindi na nag-aatubili tulad nung nauna, no? The percentage of Filipinos who are willing to get vaccinated against the coronavirus disease or COVID-19 has doubled in the past 4 months. The latest social weather stations or SWS survey results released on Friday, November 5, showed. So, dumoble ang payag ng mabakunahan na ngayong nakalipas na 4 na buwan. Yan ay ayon sa SWS survey. Sa pang-headlines, CHED allows limited face-to-face classes for all degree programs in Metro Manila. Other areas under alert level 2. So payag ng magkaroon ng face-to-face class, ano? Ang ating mga eskwelahan, all degree, mula sa elementary hanggang sa tertiary natin, sa mga colleges. So, ito yung magandang balita, no? Para makapahinga naman sa module ang mga kabataan. Tingnan natin to. Okay lang to epektibo. The Commission on the Higher Education on Friday, November 5, announced that the conduct of limited face-to-face classes for all degree programs, the tertiary level in Metro Manila and other areas under alert level 2 will not be allowed. Tertiary lang. In the IATF Interagency Task Force that we discussed the other day that in places that are already under Category 2, Alert Level 2 will allow now limited face-to-face up to 50% capacity in all degree programs in these areas. So, sa mga Alert Level 2, tulad ng Maynila, na napailalim na sa Alert Level 2, ay mula elementary hanggang college ay payagan ng magkakaroon ng face-to-face classes. So, magandang balita para naman makapahinga sa module ang ating mga kabataan. Ano? We will allow now limited face-to-face up to 50% capacity in all degree. Kaya lang 50% lang ang papayagan. Chairman Popoy de Vera said during the ceremonial vaccination of tertiary students in Palawan State University. So mga kabataan na din, hinakayat din na magkakaroon ng bakuna. May bakuna na rin sa mga bata edad 5 years to 11 years old, no? Pfizer ang unang nagpasa ng kanilang panukala o rekomendasyon na kanilang vaccine ay epektibo na para sa mga edad 5 years old hanggang 11 years old. Yan sa mga nasa kamay nilaan ay magkaroon na ng face-to-face class. Depende sa school, na. Depende sa school niyo kung saan school. Pero pinapayagan na sila ng Department of Health at ng CHED, Commission of Higher Education. Isa pa ang headlines ng Manila Bulletin. Consumer price increases ease in October. So, tataas daw ang mga presyo ng mga bilihin. Ay may bago po ba yan? Halos naman lagi-laging tumataas. Ano? Tingnan natin. Consumer prices last month rose near the lower end of the government forecast owing to slower increase in food prices. The National Economic and Development Authority, NEDA, reported on Friday, November 5. Data from the Philippine Statistics Authority showed that prices increased 4.6% in October, settling close to the low bound of the Bangko Sentral ng Pilipinas forecast for the month of 4.5% to 5.3%. Last month daw, medyo mababa ang pagtaas. Mababa, no? Pagtaas na mababa. Pero ano, kunti lang tinaas ng mga bilihin natin. So, tingnan natin ngayong parating na Kapaskuhan. Sana hindi tataas ng mataas ang ating mga bilihin kasi ang hirap talagang hanapin ang budget natin ngayon. Lalo na ngayong panahon ng pandemic, maraming mga negosyo ang nagsasarahan at maraming mga kababayan natin ang nawala ng trabaho at hanap buhay. At ngayon silipin naman natin ang ulo ng mga balita ng Philippine Star. Ay, meron pa yata ang balita doon sa Manila Bulletin. Tingnan natin. Mayroon pang headlines dito na kumukuha ng ating pansin. Itong no vaccine, no entry policy must be strictly enforced. Palace urges business owners. Ito na ngayon na no vaccine, no entry policy must be strictly enforced. So, susunod kaya ang ating mga business owners nito. Paano na pag pupunta tayo ng bangko at pag wala tayong yellow card, na tinatawag nila yung back certificate, ay hindi tayo makapasok, ano? At kung pupunta tayo ng mall, okay lang mall. Kung hindi tayo makapunta ng mall, walang problema kasi gastos lang dyan sa mall. Pero pag pupunta tayo ng bangko, ay yan ay mahalagang lakad at hindi tayo papasukin ay malaking problema. Tingnan natin kung ano ang kahinatnan nito. Malacanang reminded business owners to strictly enforce the no vaccine, no entry policy, saying their business will be affected if the number of coronavirus cases in the country would spike again. Ay hinakayat ng Malacanang ng mga nagmamay-ari ng mga negosyo ay strictly nila ipatupad ang no vaccine, no entry policy. Presidential spokesman Harry Roque made a statement after the government's pandemic task force decided to de-escalate Metro Manila to alert level 2 from November 5 to November 21, 2021. In his press briefing on Friday, November 5, Roque said that keeping the number of COVID-19 cases in the country at bay is up to the public. Government can only formulate policies. Ultimately, kooperasyon ng buong sambayanan po ang kailangan na makabangon po ang ating ekonomiya at makapagbalik buhay po tayo. We need the public's cooperation to revive the economy and so we can go back to our lives, he said. Roque said business owners must also step up to prevent the spread of COVID-19. Kung kayo ay magpapasok ng unvaccinated, talagang kakalat po ang COVID. Pag kumalat po ang COVID, aakyat na naman ang alert level natin at magsasara na naman ang mga negosyo. Yan ang sabi ni Roque. Sa mga negosyante, kung gusto nyo pong patuloy na magbukas ang inyong mga establishmento, ipatupad nyo po ang no vaccine, no entry policy. Yan ang sabi ni Roque. So, hinikaya talaga nila na magkaroon ng no vaccine, no entry policy. No? Okay lang to sa mga kainan. Di bali na hindi tayo makakain sa labas, ano? Pero pagdating na sa mga mahalagang establishmento tulad ng bangko at kung may mahalaga tayong lakad sa bangko at hindi tayo makapasok ay malaking problema talaga. Tingnan natin kung ano ang tugon ng ating mga establishmento sa uh, panghikayat nito ng pamahalaan. Para nagkaroon na ng diskriminasyon ang mga unvaccinated para natuloy silang may sakit parang diskriminasyon ang nangyari ngayon. Para nawala na tayo ng health tinatawag nila health freedom at parang wala na tayong kalayaang pumili para sa ating sariling kalusugan kung ano ang mga dapat iturok sa atin o ano mga dapat hindi. Paano naman kung may mga karamdaman tayong dinadamdam, pilitin pa rin ba tayong magpa-turok? Ano? Siguro yung magkaroon na exemption. Pag halimbawa mayroon kang heart problem o ibang respiratory problem, pwede siguro exempted ka na sa ganitong uring panukala. Tingnan natin kung ano ang mga kinatnan nito sa mararating na mga araw. No vaccine, no entry policy, Talaga naman. Parang ito magandang balita para sa ating mga gusto pa ring magtrabaho abroad, lalo na sa South Korea. South Korea allows entry of EPS workers for the Philippines and for other countries. Ang ka-South Korea talaga yan ang nangangailangan ng workforce. So panahon na para sa mga kababayan natin dyan na gustong makarating ng South Korea at magtrabaho. The South Korean government will now allow the entry of foreign workers E9 visa category under the employment permit system o EPS for the Philippines and for other countries. Korea's Ministers of Employment and Labor or MOEL announced on November 5 that South Korea will ease restrictions to the entry of foreign workers as the country implements plans to normalize life amid the coronavirus disease. Ayan ang sabi ng Korea ay hindi nila higpitan. Hindi na sila gano'ng mahigpit kung sino mga may gustong Korea, South Korea, hindi North Korea ha. At South Korea. Yan. Gusto niyo pa bang magtrabaho abroad sa ganitong kalagayan? Sabagay, mahirap din sa atin ngayon walang mapapasukan. Depende na lang kung anong chance ang pagkakataon ng ibigay sa atin. Kung may pagkakataon na makapagtrabaho sa abroad, ay isunggaban na lang talaga. Ayan. Yan lang ang mga headlines ng Manila Bulletin. At ngayon tayo ay pupunta sa Philippine Star at silipin natin kung ano mga headlines ang makakuha ng ating pansin. Dito lang sa ating bagong segment, Coffee with the News. Ito ang problema mga kasangga pag naka-data lang tayo. Kasi pawala-wala ang signal natin, laging loading. Parang utak lang din natin laging naka-loading. Ano? At ngayon ay tayo nagbabalik muli upang silipin ang mga headlines ng Philippine Star. Arrest order out versus ex procurement chief Lau. Ay, may arrest warrant na inilabas laban kay ex-procurement chief Lau. Bakit kaya ang pagkakasalan nito? Tingnan natin. Manila, Philippines. The Senate Sergeant at Arms is out to arrest former Budget Undersecretary Lloyd Christopher Lau now that he has been cited in contempt by the Blue Ribbon Committee for snubbing its recent hearings in billions of pesos worth of alleged anomalous government supply contracts. Hindi pala dumalo to sa hearing ng Senate, sa billion of pesos anomaly ng mga government supply contracts. Senate President Vicente Soto III yesterday signed the order of Senate Sergeant at Arms Rene Samonte to arrest Lau, the former head of the Procurement Service of the Department of Budget and Management. The Sergeant at Arms is hereby directed to carry out and implement this order and make a return hereof within 24 hours from its enforcement. Soto said in the directive following Lau's being cited in the contempt last Thursday for snubbing the last 4 hearings of the Blue Ribbon Committee. The arrest order valid anywhere in the country. Samonto said the search for Lau is on. Ayan pinaghahanap na sila ngayon ng batas. At hindi ito dumalo sa hearing ng Blue Ribbon Committee tungkol sa mga anomalya. May mga kontratong anomalya, no? Si Lloyd Christopher Lau ay pinaghahanap na. Isa pang headlines. Groups back suspensions of oil, electricity taxes. Isuspende daw muna ang mga tax ng langis at ng kuryente parang bumaba ang presyo nito sa mga consumers. Tingnan natin kung kaya ng Senado ang gawin ito. Manila, Philippines. 8 business organizations are urging presidential candidates looking to suspend oil and electricity taxes to reconsider their stand and push instead of targeted assistance to certain sectors, citing the need for government revenues for pandemic response and to support economic recovery. Sa mga presidential aspirant lang pala, nila ito tinitingnan kung may mga panukala silang ganito. Akala ko ba naman sa recent Senate, at may panukala na ba ito? At hindi pa natin alam may kandidatong ito ay tutuparin din kung sakaling sila ay mananalo. Kaya yan ang tinatawag na at ito pa, isa pang headlines tungkol kay Marcos, Bongbong Marcos or BBM. Comelec can rule quickly on Marcos disqualification. Pwede rin pwede daw umaksyon agad ang Comelec ukol sa disqualification case na inihain laban kay Bongbong Marcos. Tingnan natin. Former Commission on Elections Comelec Chairman Christian Munsod questions the full body sense of urgency when a spokesman James Jimenez said it would take until December to decide on the petition against former Senador Ferdinand Bongbong Marcos Jr. Jimenez does not know his talk. That's too long, Munsod said on the Chips on Signals TV, the new last Thursday. He emphasized that the case is just a question of tax. And all the Comelec has to do is verify if there are records of conviction against Marcos. Sabi niya, pwedeng, sabi ni Jimenez, pwede yan, pwedeng mag-action agad ang Comelec. Kailangan lang alamin kung totoo ba yung sinasabi na convicted si Marcos against tax evasion. Ano? Why is it difficult to find out if the facts are correct? Why is it? Why should that take 2 months? I suppose it can be even faster. Monson said in reaction to Jimenez's statement on television that since the Comelec is also handling several other petitions, it will take time to resolve the one against Marcos. Sabi ng Comelec, marami rin namang kaming mga petisyon na inasikaso. Kaya itong petition kay Marcos ay aabot pa ito ng December bago namin matingnan kung anong kahinatnan ito. Sabi naman ni Jimenez ay hindi, madali lang yan. Madali lang aksyonan yan. Kailangan alamin kung totoo o hindi yung pinasa na kung convicted ba si Marcos ng criminal case tax evasion. Criminal case pala yung tax evasion. Akala ko civil case yan. Tax evasion. Criminal case pala yan. Jimenez stressed that the Comelec will still have to provide a practical number of days for the petitioners and the respondents to comment on its answers to the petition. Tingnan natin kung anong makinatnan nitong mga nagsusulong sa diskwalifikasyon ni Bongbong Marcos para sa kanyang pagtakbo bilang Pangulo na Bansa ngayong darating na halalan sa susunod na taon. So May din ito, no? Usually May election tayo. So May of 2022. Ito pang isang aspirant na surprisingly nangunguna sa survey, si Isko Moreno. Isko to prioritize tourism, SME revival. Tingnan natin to. Surprisingly, si Isko Moreno ang nangunguna sa survey ngayon. Sa magang survey sa pagka-presidente. Ang mayor ng Manila na si Isko Moreno ang maagang nangunguna. Manila, Philippines. Manila Mayor Isko Moreno will promote the construction of tourism infrastructure as well as tourism that is sustainable and event and the revival of small-scale businesses if elected president na 2022. Ay, nag-uumpisa ni si Moreno sa paglatag ng kanyang mga plataforma. At sabi niya ay may plano rin siya tungkol sa tourism. Promote niya ang construction of tourism infrastructure sa bansa. At ang pag-revive, buhay niya ang programa tungkol sa SME, small businessmen, small-scale businessman, kung siya ay papalaring manalo ngayong darating na halalan. In his so-called DL's Kilos 10-point agenda for governance, he will also push for the creation of tourism circuits or the concept of linking tourist tourism sites that share common characteristics like food and heritage. The program also projects the country's tourism industry would thrive by the year of 2028, or from 8 million foreign tourists in 2019 to 2024 million after 9 years. Yun ang mga panukala ni Isko Moreno. Kung siya ay mananalo, ay palakasin niya ang tourist program or infrastructure ng bansa. Surprisingly, ang lakas ng hatak ni Isko. Nangunguna sa bagay, maaga pa naman ang sabi pa nga nila, hindi pa tapos ang laro, hindi pa nga nag-umpisa. Massive tax cuts, but more non-tax revenues. Sabi ni Pacquiao, ito rin ay, ni Pacquiao, plataforma. Babaan ang tax, pero maghanap ng paraan para kumita ang gobyerno sa pamagitan ng hindi tax na mga paraan. Tingnan natin kung anong nakita rito. Di Manny Pacquiao. Senator Manny Pacquiao is pushing for massive cuts on personal and corporate income taxes to help reduce government deficit and promote faster economic recovery. Para makabangon na, mabilis makabangon ng ating mga mamamayan at pati ng ating mga negosyante ay babaan ang tax sa personal and corporate income tax. Yun ang sabi ni Pacquiao. He said the government's dependence on tax revenue is very burdensome for Filipinos and results in high cost of doing business for investors. Ang pagiging dependente natin sa tax daw ay yun ay nagpapahirap sa ating mga kababayan at lalo na sa ating mga namumuhunang mga negosyante. Mabigat ang tax kaya nagpapahirap. Kaya the more we impose taxes, the heavier for the people, sabi ni Pacquiao. At that's a heavy burden for our countrymen. Kung pataasan natin ng mga tax na yan, ay lalong mabibigatan natin mga mamayan. Sabi ni Pacquiao, you're choking the people because of so many taxes. Prices go up because of taxes. Pacquiao noted in mixed Filipino and English during the online membership meeting of the Rotary Club of Manila. Pinarapan natin ang mga mamayan natin dahil sa mga tax na yan. Pag mataas ang mga taxes, pag maraming tax, tumataas ang mga bilihin. Sabi ni Pacquiao, there are many pretentious leaders claiming to be geniuses. But if you're really geniuses, why is the country still poor? Sabi ni Pacquiao. Marami mga namumuno dyan na nagkukuna rin mga matatalino, mga genius. Pero kung totoong genius talaga sila, bakit ang bansa ngayon ay lalo naghihirap? Sabi ni Pacquiao, Pini-question niya ngayon. The government is spending so much while earning very little. That's why there's not much to cover our annual budget, he added. Sabi ni Pacquiao, ang ating gobyerno ay mas malaki ang ginagastos kaysa kinikita. Kaya ang dahilan kung bakit hindi kasya para i-cover ang ating isang taong budget ng gobyerno. Kaya ang ginawa, nangungutang ang gobyerno sa World Bank para pang dagdag doon sa annual budget. Pacquiao is seeking the presidency said it was ironic that while country's budget has been increasing each year, the amount of revenues that it generates is steadily declining. So sabi niya, habang pataas ang budget natin na taon-taon, ay pababa naman ang ang kita na na-generate ng bansa. This is to him, force the government to resort to huge borrowings because the country's budget is almost double the amount of its revenues. Kaya sabi niya ang bansa ay nangutang dahil ang budget ay doble sa kinikita. He pointed out that for 2021 alone, the approved budget was 4.2 trillion while government revenues were only pegged at 2.9 trillion. This year's budget gap, he claimed, is aggravated by the culture of corruption that has permeated all levels of government. Tulad lang nung 2021 budget, 4.2 trillion ang budget natin, ngunit ang kinikita lang na bansa ay 2.9 trillion. Ito ay dahil daw sa korupsyon na lumaganap sa bansa at all levels, mula sa barangay konsehal hanggang sa pinakamataas na antas. That's why I want to see all of the corrupt together in jail, he said. Kaya gusto kong lahat ng mga corrupt na yan ay makita ko sa kulungan, sabi ni Pacquiao. According to him, tax cuts could free up more funds for investments as well as spending that will spur growth and help the country recover from the pandemic. You're supposed for more non-tax revenues. Babaan natin ang tax at dumami ang mga investor at dadami ang mga trabaho natin, Sabi ni Pacquiao, mas mabilis makabangon ang ekonomiya pag baba ng tax kasi dumami ang mga investor at pag marami investment ay magdagdag yan ng sigla sa ekonomiya. Dumami ang mga trabahante, dumami ang mga namumuhunan at dadami maging masigla ang ekonomiya. Pacquiao said his mission is to create more jobs for Filipinos as he vowed to help micro, small, medium enterprises and support the business sector through the lowering of corporate taxes and an assurance of cheap but steady internet and power supply. Yan yung mga panukala, mga plataforma ni Pacquiao. Tulungan ng mga Pilipino, mga maliliit, mga malalaki na mga enterprise, ibaba ang tax at magkaroon ng maayos na at malakas na supply ng internet at ng kuryente. They also appeared to have closed the door for running alongside Vice President Lini Robredo, which earlier considered as a possibility. At sabi na niya, hindi na sila mag-tandem ni Robredo, ano? At wala na yon, yung sabi-sabi. I will not back off from my candidacy for the presidency because I know I can do a lot for the country, told the Rotarians. Hindi ako urong sa aking pagtakbo bilang presidente kasi alam ko sa sarili ko na marami akong magagawa para sa bansa, sabi ni Pacquiao. Earlier, when asked the possibility of a last-minute team-up with Robredo, he said that nothing was possible before the November 15 deadline. The commission election has set for substitution. Sabi niya, hanggat wala pang deadline na maraming mangyayari. Pero sabi ni Pacquiao ngayon ay hindi na mangyayari yon at hindi niya iurong ang kanyang pagtakbo. Pacquiao was also being considered by various backs as a vice presidential candidate. Gusto nga talaga iba na mag-busy na rin si Pacquiao, ano? Noel Sharay support. Meanwhile, El Sharay has severed its ties with Buhay Party list Representative Lito Atienza, Pacquiao's running mates, wishing the possibility that the boxing icon may not get the support of the Catholic charismatic group. Yan. Ang El Sharay rin ay nag-back out sa kanilang suporta laban kay Lito Atienza, ang running mate ni Pacquiao. Ayan ang balitang politika. Kanya-kanya na silang latag ng plataforma. At nasa inyo na mga kabarangay kung aling plataforma ang mas gusto nyo o sino sa kanila ang sa tingin nyo ay mas seryosong tuparin ang kanilang mga pangako. Commission of Human Rights hopes Lacson Soto will turn the tide on the penalty push in Senate. Ito namang tandimang Lacson at saka Soto. The Commission of Human Rights on Friday welcomed Senator Panfilo Lacson and Vicente Soto, the third's withdrawal of support for the death penalty. Hopeful that the development will impede the proposal in Senate to reinstate capital punishment in the Philippines. Indeed, an imperfect criminal justice system may end up innocent life. Commission of Human Rights Commissioners Karen Gomez Dempet said in a statement, this recent development is win for the sanctity of life. At binakapan ng Commission of Human Rights ang plataforma ni Lacson at ni Soto na iurong na ang death penalty kasi maaring maparusahan ang inosente. At ito pa, two more groups seek to block Marcos presidential candidacy. So, dalawang grupo pa ang naglalayo na harangan ang kandidatura ni Bongbong Marcos. Tingnan natin, Manila, Philippines. At least two more groups about to join in blocking the presidential bid for former Senator Ferdinand Bongbong Marcos Jr. The lawyer Howard Kaliha said Friday. In a virtual presser, Kaliha said a group of martial law victims led by Carol Araula and civil society tax professionals led by Romel Bautista are set to file pleading next week before the Commission on Elections. Kaliha, the legal counsel, said they are looking to submit a motion of intervene and join the group of 6 civil society leaders that filed a petition to cancel or deny due course the certificate of candidacy of Marcos. They also file a separate disqualification suit. So, dalawa pa, no? Ang isa ay leader ng mga martial law victim at ang isa naman ay sa taksa. Ito ay makinalaman sa kaso ni Marcos dati na tax evasion. Ano? A case has been filed. We will join and agree with the case, Akalia said, adding that they will include more inputs in their pleading. He also said they believe their filing would give a moral conviction to the earlier filed case. Anybody who violated the tax code, you don't think moral turpitude here. Any violations carries that perpetual disqualification to hold office, he added. Arwalio said that with the historical judgment on brutal Marcos martial law rule in a real world, political heirs of the late dictators would have been permanently barred from seeking public office. But this has not happened, sabi niya. Dahil sa kabrutalan ng martial law na nangyari ng kanyang ama, hindi dapat magkaroon ng mga anak tatakbo bilang presidente, sabi ni Arroyo, ano? Kasalanan ng ama ay pasan-pasan hanggang ng mga anak. Yan ang ipahiwatig ni Arroyo. Ano? Dalawa ulit, nadagdagan ang disqualification case laban kay BBM. Tingnan natin kung anong magagawa dito ng Commission Commission of Election, ano? At tingnan natin kung sila ba ay madala sa tumitinding panawagan para madiskwalipika ang kandidatura ni Bongbong Marcos. At yan ang kabuuan ng mga headlines ng Manila Bulletin at ng Philippine Star. Puntahan naman natin ang balitang sports. Balitang palakasan. PBA and other leagues gain some relief. Ito yung pagbaba ng alert level ng Kamanilaan. Ano? Manila Philippines Metro Manila shift into the list less prohibitive alert level 2. Classification has given the PBA and other sports leagues a shot in the arm in their beds for an athletic reboot in the capital. The PBA, which completed its Philippine Cup tournament in a semi-bubble setup in Bacolor, Pampanga, is now poised to bring the games back to India with not just one but two events. The league is eyeing to launch its inaugural 3x3 competition by November 20, while rolling out the second conference featuring imports November 26 or 28. So, magkaroon ng laro ulit sa ating mga kilalang basketball venue ng National Capital Region. Baka 50% ng capacity ulit ang pwede. So, atong tuwa ang ating mga sports league sa balitang ito na alert level 2 na ang bansa. Ito si Clarkson ay magandaan nilaro nung nakaraan. Sabi niya, Clarkson says just teammates help him bounce back. Tinulungan ako ng aking mga teammates Lagi na lang tayong nawawala sa ere dahil sa ating signal. Sinsya na. At tuloy sa ating balitang sports. Maganda ang ginawa ni Clarkson laban sa Atlanta Hawks. Umiskor ng 30. At sabi niya ay dahil yan sa tulong ng aking mga kakampi. At silipin natin ating balitang boxing. At dito pa rin sa ating paboritong pinupuntahan ng telboxing.com. Weight and photos from Las Vegas Canelo, 168 pounds, flat 167 pounds sa kanilang press conference. Ano? Ito ay bukas ng laban sa atin. Araw ng linggo. Sabado ng gabi sa kanila, linggo ng tanghali sa atin. Mexican superstar and WBA, WBC, WBO super middleweight champion Canelo Alvarez and IBF super middleweight champion Khalid Plant of the United States midweight Friday without any untoward incident as the two were held not close enough with each other during a face-off at the MGM Grand Garden Arena for the undisputed championship Saturday night in the 18,000 capacity venue. Alvarez the heavy favorite to defeat Plant, but the American promised to make history Saturday night to become the first undisputed super middleweight in history. Matagal talaga ito si Plant kumpara kay tingnan natin na magandang laban ito. Kasi pag-awayan nila itong lahat ng belt ng middleweight, ang mananalo ito ay magiging undisputed, ano? Ito ay may binibitawan ng salita si Canelo Alvarez. Tingnan natin kung ano ang kanyang sinasabi sa kanilang nakikitong laban. Sabi niya, it's good to fight angry. Canelo Alvarez plans to hurt Khalid Plant. Mas magandang lumaban ng galit. Often uses the first 3 or 6 minutes of a fight to study his opponent and find the best method of attack. The same way an elite quarterback would look at how defense is lined up and audible to the play that works best. What is looking for its cheapest way to launch those withering body shots he throws. What they do is bruise the muscles, sometimes break the bones, and slowly but methodically suck the life out of the most of the opponent. Eventually, when it gets too much to take, Alvarez will switch his approach and go upstairs, relying on the tried and true boxing theory that if one attacks the body, the head will eventually fall. It's what he will try to do on Saturday against Khalid Plant with the fight on a pay-per-view card at the MGM Grand Garden Arena for the undisputed Super Middleweight Championship. You know it. I know it. Alvarez know it. And Plant knows it. For Plant to have a chance, he'll have to disrupt that simple but so effective formula. Maybe it sticks jab on Alvarez's face, turns him and he uses excellent footwork to slip out danger after connecting. Maybe he shocks Alvarez and forces him to fight going backward. Yan, familiar position for Alvarez. He and trainers Justin Gambler and Richie Plant, the fighters' fathers, have a massive challenge. Alvarez is widely regarded as the best fighter in the world, and his trainer, Eddie Reynoso, is similarly regarded as a best trainer. So, ang chance lang daw ni Plant dito ay ma-impose niya kanyang jab, 1-2, jab, 1-2 combination, at mapilit niya to si Alvarez na umatras. Yan lang natin tong laban nila itong bukas sa atin ng tanghali. Ito lang ang halos sa laman ng balita. Puro Khalid Plant Canelo Alvarez. Abangan natin ito bukas ng tanghali. At yan mga kasangga, mga kabarangay, ang ating mga balitang natunghayan ngayong araw, November 6 sa 2021. Dito lang sa ating lamang. Talaga tayong nawawala dahil sa signal natin ngayon, napawala-wala. So, yun pa man, kayo pinasalamatan sa inyong pagsama sa atin. So, hanggang bukas sa panibago nating segment, Coffee with the News. Salamat sa inyong pagsubaybay. Welcome TV is now signing off.